We bake fresh every day on premises. I've never seen some quotations make something look quite as suspicious as this, but after these quotations, I just absolutely do not trust that they do in fact bake fresh every day, you know? Because quotations aren't there to signify that something is a fact. These kinds of, double quotations usually signify that something isn't quite right. It's like, we bake fresh every day on premises. It's like, it's a little bit suspicious. You're acting a little bit suspicious with that one. This video brought to you by my YouTube members and patrons. Thank you guys. How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to another subreddit video. Today we are returning once again to r/CrappyDesign, a subreddit dedicated to design choices that they're not good. They weren't good choices. They didn't do good things. They didn't result in good things. Very quickly before we begin, I just wanted to mention the YouTube members and patrons, you guys get an extra video every single week for as low as £1 a month. That equates to about 25p per video. So if that is something that interests you, please do consider joining, as it really helps support the channel. Also, I will likely be live in 2 hours as of this video going up, so if that is something that interests you, please do come over to my Twitch, as it's always a good time. There is a chance I won't be live. It really depends on whether I'm working a late shift or not. Some weeks I finish at midnight, so I can't exactly stream on those days, but come over to my Twitch and see if I'm live, and if I am, say hello. Other than that, let's get into the subreddit, shall we? So when I saw this sign, I had exactly zero clue what this could possibly mean. Absolutely none. I'm gonna take a second for you guys to look at this, right? Comment down below what you think this sign is for. I'll give you a moment. I cannot figure it out. There's a guy stood next to what I'm assuming is meant to signify a woman, but honestly, that could be anything. So comment down below what you think this is. No cheating, no waiting until you know the answer and then commenting. Comment now what you think this is. I'll give you a second. You got it? You ready? You've got it commented. You're all commented. You're good. You're good. One more second. This sign right here is meant to be a no public displays of affection sign. Yeah, I'm not seeing it either. To me, this is what, like, no getting attacked by the ghost of Pingu. No getting newt-newted by Pingu's ghost. Although that does sound like a euphemism, so maybe it works. NSU and OSBI, Sexual Assault Academy. Now, I'm sure they teach good things, but was there not a better way you could have worded that? Was there not? Maybe, like, you could have one word to fix this, right? One word. Awareness. Like, Sexual Assault Awareness Academy, right? Like, there are definitely ways you could word something like this, like an academy for teaching about awareness or how to deal with something like that, right? There's ways you could word that isn't just Sexual Assault Academy, which makes it sound like you're teaching people how to do it. There's definitely ways that could have been worded better. I'm sure that they teach, like, good shit. I'm sure that they teach some good important shit, but they really could have worded that better. Wow, this bathroom that's a really good cubicle wall there. It's even got like a little step up to the ledge so that you can really have a little peep around. Obviously, this is just bad design, right? Because anybody could just look around. But I would like to believe that most adults wouldn't do that, right? Most adults wouldn't choose to look around. It's not ideal that the option is there if they did, but most adults wouldn't choose to look around. Although there is a window reflecting, so that's also not ideal. If they are at the right angle, they're just gonna see a reflection. But the problem is, what I know is going to happen is some parent who has no control of their children, who has never actually managed to control their child ever a day in their life and stop them doing things that they're not meant to be doing. There's gonna be some, like, 6 to 11-year-old that disobeys their parent, that's just like climbing up on that ledge and just peering around and just going, anybody taking a shit in here? It's gonna happen. You're gonna be taking a shit in this cubicle and a child is going to peek their head around. They're gonna have no idea about personal space or understand that what they're doing is wrong. They're just gonna be going, hello? And they're probably gonna try and have a conversation with you. And knowing the kinds of parents that have those kinds of children, children, the parent is not going to do anything about it. That parent's going to be peeing, they're going to pee, they're going to wash their hands, and they're going to take their child out. They're not even going to tell their child not to do that. This is why it's bad design. Like, you need to do things like this to prevent, you know, adults from committing crimes and peering in on people unconsensually. But also, you need to do these kinds of things because children are going to do it regardless. If they're able to, a child is going to do it, right? So you need to make sure that there are things in place to stop children and creeps from being children or creeps, right? This one's a small one, but this is just a terrible magnet. It's a clip, so you can like clip things, hang things, right? Like documents or whatever, but the clip's curved, which means that the magnet doesn't sit flush on whatever surface it's on. I guess the only way you would be able to clip this onto something, or to magnet it onto something, is to have it hanging off the edge, so the clip's hanging around the corner of the thing, and then the thing that you've got clipped is clipped on the thing sideways. It's not a good design. It's not a good design at all, is it? Like, if you put this on a fridge, you open that fridge door, it's gonna fly off. It's not a good design. Please throw toilet paper in the bin. Yes. Toilet paper. What they are signifying, the thing here they don't want people doing, is throwing toilet paper in the toilet. That's toilet paper is in that picture. I don't think it is. I don't think that picture is illustrating toilet paper. I'ma be honest. Log. Touch red when door is closed. Touch green sensor to open. This is terrible. This is terrible for a multitude of reasons. You can see how many people press the sticker, right? Because of how worn off the sticker is. That's how many people press this sticker thinking that that's going to do the thing, right? You can see the sensor in the bottom right of the picture. This is bad. This is bad. I would do the exact same thing. I would 100% do the exact same thing. Unfortunately, this means a lot of people are going to be pressing that, thinking they're locking the door. Someone else is going to pull open the door and just walk in on someone taking a shit. Right? Like, that's what's gonna happen, ultimately, because they've put a stupid little sensor on the wall in a place where you can't see it and put a sticker telling you how to do it, way more visible than the sensor itself. You know what would have solved this? Just a regular lock. Just the locks that every public toilet has, where you just lift it up to lock it, or twist it to lock it, or anything like that. It's gonna be cheaper. It's not going to fail as much because it's not relying on technology. And if it breaks, it's gonna be cheaper to fix. I don't really understand a use case for the sensor. I don't really, like, my assumption would maybe have been, like, for disabled people that don't have the dexterity in their hands, it means that they can use a sensor to lock the door. It's a lot easier for people to do that than to use a lock if they don't have that dexterity. But I would also assume that if someone doesn't have that kind of control in their hands, they're not going to be able to wipe, which would mean that they probably have someone assisting them. They would have an assistant of some variety, right? To help them wipe for hygiene reasons. If you're unable to use a lock on a door, you're probably not able to wipe, right? Right? Never give up. I can, and I will. Me every single day. Man, true inspirational words. I believe that this one was on in the bathroom at a school as well. And it makes it even better. This so relatable, honestly. I can and I will. I'm going to give up. I'm happy. At least 31 killed, 170 wounded in suicide attack on Islamabad mosque. You couldn't have maybe chosen a better picture and title for your newspaper. This is one of those examples where I have to assume that they just don't have anyone who proofreads. Like, I feel like it would take one person to proofread this newspaper, to have a look at this newspaper and go, okay, maybe that news headline combined with that quote from a different headline, maybe we don't put them in the same page. Maybe those don't go together. Maybe we're conveying possibly the wrong message by putting those two together there. Once again, terrible sign. I think this one's a logo rather than a sign, and I believe OP said that this was a logo for a dentist. I got a lot of questions. I got a lot of questions, okay? First of all, why does the dentist have his ass out? Why is he cheeks out right there? Also, why is the woman that he's treating staircase? Why why is he treating her backwards? Why is he like back to her, ass out, just hand in face, right? Like, he's just like, I am the best dentist ever. I can do this with my eyes closed. He's full like Neo understanding his true potential in the Matrix style, like treating this woman. Maybe that's what this scene is. This is the scene from the Matrix, actually, where Trinity gets shot and Neo uses his powers to take the bullet out. That's what this scene is. Whoa, crazy, except it's her mouth and he's a dentist. So this one, it looks like an innocuous, like, nail polish, like, bottle, right? However, according to OP, there's text on this. There's text on this nail polish. You can't read it, but apparently there's text here. I'm gonna, in post, I'm gonna play around with the values, you know, the saturation, lightness, contrast, all of that kind of thing, and see if I can make the text in any way visible, because with my naked eye, I can't see a single piece of text on this, which is quite impressive. I would have thought even a black print on black nail polish would be visible just from a difference in like texture and glossiness, right? But no, they've managed to match it perfectly. Yes, the Yale shop. Would you like to come to the Yale shop? We sell all of the best Yale items. I don't know what that accent is. I think that's like that's like old school iDubbbz. I think I just did like a 2014 iDubbbz accent right there. But yeah, so obviously it's meant to say the whale shop. The tail they used, very much not a W, very much not a W. That's a Y. If that's a letter, it's a Y. The Yale shop. The ninja diet. Can you help Mickey eat all of the pizza slices on his way through the maze? No, you can't, because this is an unsolvable maze. This is becoming increasingly common, like super common. I can only assume that the reason this is becoming so common is because all of the companies, all of the restaurants and things that give out these have stopped getting actual people to make them. They're just using AI. It's just an AI generated maze, and the person who made it couldn't even put the effort in to actually make sure it was solvable. We've gotten to that level of laziness now. That level of laziness, it would have taken them like a minute to go, oh shit, this maze isn't solvable. Maybe we should ask the AI to redo it, or better yet, just put it in Photoshop and just rub out one of the walls. It's an unsolvable maze. Good job. There are also something becoming increasingly common is things like this, but also like word searches that don't have all of the words in them. Like those also exist. Just a lot of like kids activities that you give to children at restaurants and things to distract them so they're not complaining or bored, except they use AI to make them, and then the AI doesn't make it properly and no one checks. That's the level of laziness and lack of effort and money being put into things these days. And the final post, this bike path that they forgot that there was a lamppost there. So they had to just go and draw that bike path around the lamppost, which is just, I can only assume that this is in the UK because unfortunately, yep, that's how bike infrastructure be. It just is. That said, this isn't in the UK. It's not, because the cars are on the wrong side of the road to be in the UK. So, but that is absolutely just how bike infrastructure is in the UK. In the city I grew up, you would have bike paths that would be roughly 10 meters long, and then it would just go back onto the road, and then like 3 roads down, it would go back onto the pavement as a bike path and then last about 10 meters before going back on the road. And they were so shit that they might as well have just not been there. Like it was more complicated to try and follow the bike paths than it was to just cycle on the road. At that point, just cycle on the road. I'm lucky enough now to live in a city that is very accessible. So not only do buses go absolutely everywhere very regularly, but it is actually just as quickly for me to cycle into town as it is for me to get a bus into town, because there is a direct bike path that goes straight there, continual bike path, no breaks, no points where you have to suddenly be on the road and there's no path. There's just a bike path all the way there. It's nice. I get to one wheel more often than I used to. Not recently because it's been the winter and it's the UK, but I'm looking forward to it warming up and I can start one wheeling again. But that is where I'm going to end the video. So thank you very much for watching, everybody. I hope you have enjoyed. If you would like to support me in making more content like this, then I have a Patreon Patreon in the description down below, or equally you can click on that join button on the channel to support me. It helps a lot more than you might realize, but by no means should you feel like you have to. I'm going to keep making content regardless. But a huge, massive special thank you to all of the wonderful YouTube members and patrons that do support me. All of your names are up on screen right now. It genuinely helps so much, and it genuinely means so much. So thank you to everybody that does. Other than that, thank you so much for watching, everybody. I hope you have enjoyed, and as always, I will see you in the next video. Peace out.